the time the business started, I am operating at the rate of 10 million. And God help me. By the time the one boy, this thing is cheap. And I'm operating at the rate of 50 million. And we made the agreement that I'm going to settle him with 2 million. Is the boy not going to be feeling bad after all I have done? So, all in all, I think a lot needs to be done in that particular issue, at least starting with the law. I think the Market Traders Association, they did well,
yes,
by intervening and stuff. But then again, there is not much the market traders will do. There is not much they can do. The highest they would do is to stop associating with the orga.
Well, from the videos we saw, I heard people saying that it's a normal thing with the man. You know, when you're doing business in a particular area now, people will know how you operate. That guy won't definitely be the first guy that is serving him. So people were saying that that's how he has been. He makes up issue when somebody 7 years. When the boy was still in 13, okay, let's just say around figure of 13, because allegedly it was 13, between 13 to 18. Some said 17, some said 18, some said 13. But let's use the figure 13. If this boy stole 13,000 naira from you, 13 million naira from you, how did you not know until the very period you're supposed to settle him? Why then are you bringing it up at that moment? And I feel for the market union to intervene in this, I don't think this would be the first time he's doing it. Because they might have said, oh, I've had enough of this guy. We've had enough of this guy. Let's just see what's going on here. And from the video also, I heard people testifying that this guy has been
very
good,
diligent,
for people to even talk about it. You get. So I don't think, well, what you said about the government doing a stipulated law, because somebody might start a business at first, might be having 2 million at the end of the day. By the time the guy is done, he might be having 50 million, like you rightly said. Or somebody might even start a business with 50 million with the guy, and then by the end of the time the guy it drops. So I feel there are so many factors to consider when your boy is being sent to serve a master, which, like you rightly said, the government should, look into all those things, look at the good and the bad, look at the pros and the cons, and then draft out something. But to the people, the orgas, before the government comes up with this, to the orgas that, often try to bring up issues where people who serve them are, I don't know what could be the reason why they do this. Because you don't tell me that your son, if you're the man, the master, your son, you send your son out to somewhere to go and serve, and the boy spends 8 years, 7 years, and then the person he's serving is telling him that he did something, he did that. Some will say that I caught him with my wife. There are so many stories I've heard about it. Some will say, one story or the other. So why? What's their aim? What exactly is the aim? Why they do that?
First of all, I think let's be factual. We need to be factual. We need to consider all angles. You get, in as much as some organs are dubious in nature, they want to, get the best of you and not to settle you. Some boys too are also dubious in nature. And if your guy is a tricky person, he know you are selling from him. He have his evidence. He will keep it 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. When time comes to settle you, he will bring up the case that you are selling from him. Then when he begin to present the evidence, automatically everybody will know, yes, you have been selling from this man. You get. So I don't know what the case is, because most times we tend to judge things from what we see from the internet. That kind of guy might have 1 or 2 evidence against the boy. That's why it is always good to keep your hands clean. Then you made the statement that people there that are saying that this boy has been good, our guy needs to settle him and stuff. I also blame the boy to an extent. Do you get? If you come to serve Oga, except if you are not observant enough, 1 year already is okay for you to know the kind of person you are serving. Okay, let's say for instance now you are from Newi in Anambra State, and probably your guy is doing business in Sokoto. Both of you are from the same village, you're doing business in Sokoto, and when the other comes to take you, you don't know his dealings. You don't know if he's a dubious man or so. For you to know the kind of person he is, you need to go to Sokoto and stay with him. 1 year already. 1 year is enough for you to know from people that this man don't used to settle his one
Then it's
boys.
people.
But we in Africa, we like to use the word God forbid. It's not my portion. We think maybe if I do my own well, he's going to settle me, which is we still see that it's just rubbish. And when you are serving the organ, there are other one boys that are older than you now.
That must
You
have
know,
had
there are some that are
higher
2 years.
experiences.
You have been noticing that this man has this of not settling his one way. Then you still stay back, hoping that you are going to be this or be that. But coming to the question you asked, the only thing that will make somebody not to settle somebody that suffered for him is what? Greediness. And
Or wickedness.
sometimes also, the wife of the organs, they play a very important role in settling one point. Wife of Oga. That's why a sensible one boy will always try to please
We
the
go to
Oga's
the
wife.
Oga's wife.
But
Yes.
some Oga's wife are just so bad that you cannot please them. And because of greed, they will say, if my husband carries 5 million now and settle this boy, how much will remain? So she will be planning, telling the Oga, basing the Oga's mind not to settle the boy. Do you get?
Mm.
So I keep on saying that government need to step in until there is a stipulated law, stipulated punishment for a particular something. People will not be afraid of it. You get? Government still need to come in, make a law, and follow it up so that this kind of thing at
Right.
least.
During the agreement that they write, I thought there usually comes an oath that they take when they are writing the agreements, like two families agreeing that my son will serve this man for his son. I thought there is usually an oath.
What type of oath?
You know,
There is no oath.
oh, there is no oath
There is
that
no oath. Most times, I'm telling you, most times when you hear agreement, it's verbal agreement.
not even written.
Most of those agreements you are hearing is just verbal agreement. Okay, let me tell you a story. I know of a person when we finished our secondary school. The Oga was in Cameroon. The Oga was in Cameroon then. He came after our secondary school, he came to take the boy to Cameroon. So the agreement is that the boy is going to serve him 8 years. But the Oga insisted that the boy is going to serve him 10 years because that the boy is going to use 2 years to learn Cameroon language. The Oga said that the boy is going to use 2 years. So that 2 years is just free
Yes, just for him to learn.
to learn the language. That if you carry him now, he will still waste time within 2 years learning. And how can you do business when you don't know the language? So the boy, but the boy told me that he learned that language within 2 months. And the Oga know that it takes 2 months to learn it, or highest 2 months or even 6 months. But he intentionally put it 2 years. Do you get? And the agreement they made is verbal agreement, but to the glory of God, it was settled. But I want to put it out here that the population of people that the Oga did not settle is not up to 30%. I have it on a good authority.
That the story you're talking about.
On a normal ground,
Okay.
people that the Oga did not settle, they are not up to 30%. If we are going to discuss how much did the Oga use to settle you, then
That's
that is
different
another this together. But the people that Oga did not settle, they are not up to 30%. If you go to Onisha, if you go to all these places that Idumota, Balogun market, you will see people that are the Oga settled. But the onus lies on you when you are doing the boy business. The small money you are getting, save it. Because the Oga already
You see, that's where the controversy comes from. The small money you're getting. You gave an instance at the beginning when you started talking. You said that the man might have been monitoring the boy, that he might be doing one or two shady moves, but the man is keeping it.
When I say small money, I don't mean shady moves.
Okay.
One boys then they get money.
From
For instance,
tips,
now, this is my shop, this is your shop, this is your shop. Your market fee come back now, and people where they do, those people where they do loading, they do they. My one boy can come and do this thing for you, and you pay them.
That's their own.
Then there are some money, some business. This thing will like the way this particular one boy they always pack in goods. Anytime Okechukwu prepare my invoice, pack my goods, this thing is complete. Every time Okechukwu do this or that, my market is complete. So the businessman will have a likeness for this particular one boy. At any time he come to the market, he will tell you, please, Okechukwu will do this thing for me. So once Okechukwu is done with whatever he's doing, the man will just tip. If your guy is a good person, he will just leave the tip for you. Even but some guys are very wicked. Even they want to they will still call it, but some Oga. But let me say this: most problem start when Oga get married. Sorry to say it.
Get married to a good wife or get married to a good woman at all.
Sorry to say it. People that serve the Oga when the Oga is
or single,
a bachelor, they enjoy. Because it is easy for a man to stay with a man. Easy. Because a man is just thinking on how to avoid problems. You get. But you see Oga now, if you do something very bad, Oga will caution you. If the thing is up to something that he can use force, he will use force.
Yes.
And he will drop it there. But immediately, I don't want to go further. I don't want to make it a gender issue.
No, you're not making it a gender issue. It's just one of the factors that push
like people that serve the Oga when the Oga is single, they enjoy. But immediately the Oga brings somebody home, that is where problem is that. Some will even demand that once you come back from the market, the learned ones, once you come back from the market, that you should come and keep the invoice book for her. Then she will be looking
and checking things. Regarding this case now, if they are even supposed to tackle it, they should ask questions beyond the Oga. In the case of the trending video,
beyond the Oga, how is the Oga wife? How is like everything? Even some Oga wife are so dubious in nature that they can use their daughter to set you up. I've seen cases.
Yes, that when I was at first when I said aside, because the video the guy was saying that the boy stole. Imagine saying I saw that boy and I looked at him. What would that guy do with that amount of money?
No, ask yourself. If that boy stole anything, even up to 5 million, will he be in that Oga's house demand that Oga will settle him? He will leave. He will live on his own.
Even if he's waiting for the settlement, there is no way the Oga will settle him with something beyond.
Then you ask yourself again. The Oga that is saying that they sold 30 million.
How much is your business?
How much is his business capital? So some of those things are just funny.
Well, I feel this is a strategy
not to.
But this time around, it will not work for him. Because I don't know, but it will end bad for him. Because if you end up not settling that board, people will bias the mind of anybody that comes there to serve. And I'm very sure that the market traders, they will just stop dealing with him.
What's your 2 cents on?
I personally feel that he has to settle the boy because this is 7 years of his life. This 7 years, you would have gone to university and studied, almost 2 courses.
University is even 4 years. Then you serve 1 year. The remaining 2 years, do you know how much you?
Which university is correct?
There are 4-year courses in Nigeria. There are 4-year courses now. Ideally, the number of years you spend in university is not 4 years. They're not striking.
You have the remaining 3 years to wasted at all. But he should at least settle the boy. But another thing that I was thinking about, what if this man decides to go like diabolical with this thing? Because this has brought a lot of visibility to him, his business, the neighborhood, the market itself. So what if he tries to like maybe attack the boy traditionally or something?
Yeah, making sense. But what if on that note, what if he has been going diabolically to take away the attention of the public from him with the other people? Because from the video they said he has been reoccurring, and this is the first time. Except the boy's God, the God himself is very strong. You get what if he has been doing? Because there is no way I will serve. The families will make noise for the other past people. He has done this trickish move on. The families will make noise. And again, I heard on the video that a part of the video they were saying that the man is talking about settling him with 5 million. I don't know if for the period of years, 7 years, is 5 million okay for settlement. For that period of years he has spent, 7 years is not a day.
See, in this particular issue, money is not the full gain of one point. Yes, we focus on the organ is supposed to give you so amount. There is something that the organ gives to you that is unquantifiable, that is knowledge of the business. The money the organ give to you, if they give you, leave the money for you, make you shop. But the money no go last 2 years, you go finish am with mouth. But what you get from the organ is unquantifiable, which is the knowledge of the business, and that is what will last you throughout the rest of your life. Even that same knowledge you are going to transfer to your children in that business. So what I'm saying in essence is this: if the organ agree, depending on the business the organ is running, because they are yes,
yes, it's an electronic business.
Yes. So if the organ agree to give him 5 million, good. Because of the goodwill he have with people there, they feel just, once you are good with people, some people that are doing well today, the organ feels settle them with 1 million. But because of the relationship they have created with your guys, customers, or guys neighbor, person from that shop sell feel they carry goods they sell. They give me one another organ we like them. We just come from my shop, they carry goods they sell. You get it? Mm-hmm. So I believe that boy, from what I saw in that video, from the amount of people that came out to speak for him, many people like him. And I think he has a straight. So if your organ can give you that 5 million,
you should take it like that.
And don't just.
But then I'm still hell bent on why these men do this, because these are people's children. It's really heartbreaking. I feel it's wickedness, because I don't see a reason why you would take somebody's child and keep under you. Because even if the boy is doing all those shady moves like taking your goods, you caution him. I know I've heard of people who are serving their masters and their masters end up hitting them with cane. People even come and give a report to their family and say, this is not my father now. Why is he beating me with cane? I feel he's a lord over you, like your father. So if you see these people doing these shady moves and you're keeping it for them, waiting until their time for settlement and use it against them, and you say call one huge amount of money and say they've been stealing for you. So I feel that's wickedness. It's wickedness on a witchcraft and wisdom because it's not fair. It's really not fair. The people that let those children out to serve you have a reason why they let them to serve you. Viewers, please comment your opinion and your thoughts on the comment section. We'll come back to read what you think. Now, my question again is this whole system, is it an outdated thing? Is it still very profitable? I mean,
yes, the apprenticeships.
Yes, apprenticeship, because the society is wise now. Everybody, I don't say now. People they go school, whether their children are serving book or not serving, they send them go school. So is it something outdated, or is it something still very much valued now?
I feel like it's very much valued, because even if all the children in the world decide to go to school, how many job opportunities are there for them to? And we also see people that are into business, people that are into engineering, and all these type of things that we cannot get from going to school. So I feel like the system is still very valid. Okay. But like what Mr. Dan said, it should be a regulation backing it up for this type of incidents. But that's what I have to say about it.
That's your thoughts. Yeah. Are you sure that's your thoughts?
But if I'm going to put something into what she said, this is what made the Igbos what they are today. If you should focus on people who are wise, they should get education, where do you keep job for them? Yeah. Of course, we know we have issue of
jobs in society, in the country.
So what I think we need to do is to regulate it. Even gone are those days when if you go to market, you see illiterates.
Yeah, I think most of them even go to school nowadays and go back to.
But what they do is, rather than spending 10 years in learning the business, once they get their certificate, they are knowledgeable, they just come, okay, I want to learn this business. Learn. Not do what again. I want to learn. They will pay some amount of money, learn it 20 years, learn it 2 years, 3 years, they start their own. But those that still want to do what boy, they're not going to spend like that big amount of time. They will just be like 4 or 5 years. And you settle them with the little you want to settle them with, and that's that. So I think it's not something that can ever be outdated. This apprenticeship now, even Harvard University, wrote a thesis on it. They made a presentation on it. They many things on it. Like
I mean, because
I've
there are
always
so
been
many
like that.
values attached to it. If you finish learning, at least you create job opportunities for other people. If you start,
Yeah.
people will also come and learn from you, right?
Yes.
How long does somebody who has been freed take to get people to learn? Do you have an idea?
Somebody that just got settled
Yeah.
can start business today and bring in
Somebody
somebody
learn.
tomorrow. And somebody that was settled 10 years ago, fit up to today, never bring anybody to serve under him. It depends on one, the capital you have. You get the kind of customers you have. Some would prefer to get sales girl, but some would say, okay, if I should get sales girl and be paying her, why not get one boy?
That we even bring things to
Yes.
you.
And most times that one boy, their job does not end in that market. For a guy that is single, one boy is the official cook of the house, the washing machine and stuff. So even for the oga that are married, some oga wife, they don't enter kitchen. That's why most times if you see people will do that one boy eat something that they work like women. That like
Yes,
they act like
in
not
Igbo,
in
they say
action.
Anya do
Anya Neru hand. They can cook many soup. No, they are well trained, not just in education, but in character and in domestic affairs. So I think that one boy is good, but what I've been saying before is that we still need to fine tune it so that it will be in par with our particular situation in this time.
Because the factor surrounding it requires that government regulation. Since people, even children now, most of them, they don't even bother about the education. So they should fine tune it, get the government involved in it. Okay, still on the trending issues, there's another video about students who are writing WAEC. This is the first time I'm seeing that one. I mean, I saw that video, I was like, what is really going on here? Children who were sent to write WAEC are using phone touchlights to write their papers. I don't understand.
I don't even know how they are going to pass the exam because they can't even see the question.
Oh, how would they pass? That's why they will say they wrote WAEC, Nigerian children, they don't know anything.
They are failed.
They are failing. How would they fail? I mean, has it gotten to this level where they write WAEC in the night?
From the video, I think the invigilator did not come on time. The exam was scheduled by 2.
Yes, 2 p.m.
And he did not come up until 6. So that was why it was now later in the night. I don't know the school system. Was there no gen? Could they have left the exam for the next day when it was brighter? Why did they have to write the exams at that point in that kind of situation and condition?
So, and they knew they were going to be taking papers that day. Like you said, they don't have a generator. Even if they don't have generator, why would the invigilator come that late?
We can't say, it can be many reasons. Accidents, it can be a lot of things. Maybe it can be there are a lot of factors to this thing. We can't say. And at the same time, maybe they did not want to take the exam the next day because the question papers were already out for other students that had written the exam. Maybe that was the reason why.
Is that an excuse?
It happens sometimes.
I mean, it was just embarrassing for real. Imagine somebody out of the country seeing that video and like, what is going on? This is a West African examination that people are writing the night with touchlights. It's I don't know. What do you think? Because I can't even. It's very embarrassing. Let me use the word embarrassing. I feel embarrassed.
Me, that video, everybody has their opinion of what they get from that video. To me, I think our focus should be on malpractice. Because what do you think will happen in a hall where people are using torchlight to write exam? You as an invigilator, you cannot see everybody because of darkness. What do you think will happen? There will be malpractice.
So
a very huge one. But let's not act as if that is a new thing. It's not.
Wait, malpractice intended by the people, the invigilators, or
not intended by the invigilator.
Okay.
Nature or circumstances had made it that this is how this thing happened. Of course, the student will use the opportunity for malpractice. But let's not pretend that this is a new thing. This is a country where we have been experiencing this kind of thing, even to an extent that they have to use torchlight in a theater where they are doing operation.
Mhm.
Yes, there have been cases where doctors and nurses or whoever and whatever have to on torchlight to operate,
Operate on
to
somebody.
even deliver baby. So it's not an isolated incident. It has always been that way in this country, and we need to improve. But coming to the reason why such thing happen, maybe I don't know. Sometimes insecurity too, because it. But you should know that exam this thing, that the teacher needs to go to the local government. The far I know, the invigilators they need to go to the local government and collect that exam papers. Do you get?
Mm.
And some local governments are so big that you have to spend like 2 hours or 3 hours to move from that particular local government to
To
the
the
place
exam
you are
center.
doing exam. Then what if there is issue of hold up? What if there is issue of just anything can
Well,
happen?
to me,
But I don't want.
well,
I'm not holding you. I'm not holding anybody. All I'm saying is that we need to do better.
I feel
We
the
need to do
root
better.
cause of this thing is actually government negligence. You mentioned operating on somebody with torchlights. That's part of government knowledge because they are supposed to like give the necessary equipment that every school needs. But comparing this to the hospital thing being operated, I think they are two different things,
They are not.
right? Because this person have to save this life, and whatever comes out of it, they have to use whatever resource they have. That is why they are using torchlight to operate on somebody. They will have to use whatever resource they have to save that person's life. But this is an exam prepared. You WAEC is something that happens once in a year. It's something prepared for. You can't tell me that is that very day they are writing the exam paper that you are supposed to go and carry it, or is that how it works?
No,
That very day the students are
Mm.
expected to write that paper. You have to go and carry that money.
Yes, it is so secure that there is a key and their bags, and there is a key and padlock. When I wrote my wife,
Okay.
that's how it was. So I think what Mr. Dan said it should also be
you know,
considered.
you know the way they do during election time. During election time,
Mhm.
that is how they do during examination time.
Mm.
You say something about how relatable the two scenarios are. 70% of the operations that are doing in the hospital is not emergency. You ask yourself, how many times do they rush accident victims? Because the only people that they do emergency operation is accident victims. Operation like appendix, delivery, other operation, they fix date for it, but still they still have light issue. So, me this is battle.
Okay, starting to do the operation, the person is opened up already. It cannot be postponed. This examination, see, what they are trying to avoid by writing that paper that night, in that midnight, is for them not to maybe have seen the questions and when they come back tomorrow, they will go and source for answers to it. But it's still going to happen. Imagine people writing with torchlight in the night. There is no way.
The whole news is not on the comparison. Let's not focus on the comparison and lose the message. The message is the government need to do better. Simple. Whether it's on health, whether it's on security, whether it's on education, all around, the government needs to do better. Like this is an eyesore. If Ghana or all these our banter, South Africa banter country, if they see this kind of thing, almost
They will drag it.
they will drag the hell out of
I
Nigeria.
made a situation. I say it's embarrassing because that's what I thought of. This thing is open to the public, and these people seeing this thing, it doesn't make any sense. I mean,
And they're already
even
calling out the Republic.
it's even an eyesore. And well, let me not let's not bring back what has happened. But if you look at the past election that happened, it's almost the same thing. It happened, and that one they finally announced results in the night now, right? So what we all are still saying is, I feel the government. I saw some comments. I think I should read those comments. People made some comments that we might have to look at. Just 1 second, please. Okay. Somebody said, Bayo and Reno or Mercury won't compare how students in the US write exams to what's happening here. Wait until Tinubu wants to spend billions on private jets and solar projects. Suddenly, they will start reminding us how it's done in the US. This person is saying that Tinubu is not to be blamed, the government. And that one said, you want to blame Tinubu for this? Are there not enough people who can hold responsible for this? Someone else said, it's disappointing that the country continues to lack credibility, particularly in our educational sector, which is very true. Someone else said, jump and twilight, WAEC at night, DSS by midnight, EFCC on blindfolding mode, INEC results remaining best at midnight. The light goes on, bats doings. If you don't know, you never know. The last one says, WAEC and the government should be blamed. If the questions were not properly packed for the number of students, that is okay. But why will a public school that is just a few minutes away from the state secretariat and just beside the state government not have proper power supply? So from these governments I read, some are saying the government are not to be blamed. Some are saying, of course, there's a body in charge of it, right? The Minister of Education.
Yes, to the WAEC coordinators.
There are bodies to be held responsible for this. Even though we know that the government is, even though we know the government is like the pillar where all these people climb and climb before, because they are the ones that pass the judgment. But there are immediate bodies to be held responsible. So shouldn't we look into that?
Yes.
Our issue is that we love to point fingers to the government. When I say the government, I wasn't referring to the APES government, but I know even WAEC has their own governing council and stuff.
Yes.
So I think they need to do better, especially now that we know that the particular place they had the issue is related to the place they're supposed to collect those materials from. All in all, I think they need to do better. They really need to do. They really need to sit up. Simple.
Okay. So still on this matter of WAEC, I think we need to also bring in the JAM, because when the JAM saga started, it was stated that out of 1.9 million candidates, 1.5 scored below 200, over 400. So isn't this one of the factors? Is this not? So if this WAEC that they wrote now and tomorrow they come out and say, nobody passed. And I think I saw a comment where they said somebody took her life because of her JAM score.
Just it happened.
Right. Yeah. So I feel these are all the things jam-packed. We really need to keep sensitizing on this thing. Really, the government have to do something. Now they are sending out messages for people to come and resit their exams. Are they going to reset the question?
Of course they will. I will reset the question. Resetting the question is not the issue. Resetting the question is not the issue. The morale of the student is the issue. Because I know, even from SS2, we grew this fear for JAM. They will tell you, JAM will jam you. And we also have one we used to use for WAEC, some certain phrases. If you enter SS3, even your parents will give you free liberty to sit down and study. The stress, the anxiety and stuff. So imagine that somebody gathered himself or herself to prepare for that particular exam, wrote it, say, okay, I'm done with this thing. Then you have to call him back again. Then, okay, put yourself in a situation. Okay, remember when you are in school, that if you have carryover, the kind of tension. So I think even before those students go back to that exam hall, they need to get like a professional help. Bring them together, get a professional to speak to them, before they enter the exam hall. I think that is okay. I'm not advising that they should go and give them mark or supply them mark so that to augment. They need to write the exam again. At least what happened, but they need to write the exam. But at least speak to them first. And probably, if it's possible, those ones that are receiving the exam, get their account number, give them something. to augment for the transportation and stuff.
And
There are some certain things that if you do, people will say, okay,
yeah,
you did
people are
something.
trying to salvage the situation.
Maybe 10,000 naira. Just call it transportation allowance or anything.
But that does not rule out the fact, because they said there were occurrences like network glitch. There was
It's not a network glitch. The National Assembly, when that thing happened, National Assembly came and said, okay, we are going to look into it. Their report came out 3 days ago, and they said that it's not a glitch. That is human input. That the problem has human face. Maybe somebody that's supposed to do this did not do this, or maybe there is a sabotage or anything, but it's not a glitch. It has nothing to do with network, has nothing to do with glitch. And so far, JAM has not come out to say no, what you said is wrong or what you said is right. So I think we still need to stick with the last statement we received from the government, which is the National Assembly. So I don't know. In fact, the whole thing is somehow.
It's just emotionally downcast.
Somehow.
Someone said I'm emotionally downcasted. It's really emotionally downcast, because I feel even with this first one that they said, there are people who did well on their own.
Yes.
And it will affect them.
Having to rewrite
the morale, like the morale that they took to enter that first time to write the exam, and you're telling them to come and write again. Some of them will just lose that morale. They'll just go and write rubbish.
All right. We're coming to the end of the live stream. I'm going to read out some comments that we have here during the conversation. Someone said, how will someone serve for 7 years? There was no record of theft. Now he wants his freedom. He is being accused of theft. That is the height of wickedness. Exactly what we talked about here. If you have signs that somebody that is serving you is tipping your money or is stealing your money, you're supposed to say something. Right? Exactly. Someone said there should be written documentation so people don't keep falling victim of such. Sadly, Saddam mentioned that. Another person said serving or being apprentice for 7 years with a concrete agreement, and at the end of the 7 years, he was not settled. It's the height of wickedness and selfishness on the part of the Oga. Something we said. Apprenticeship in Nigeria needs to have regulations. Some Ogas feel since they are under him, then he or she is a lord over them. Not only accident victims get emergency surgery. This is a response to your statement. Not only accident victims get emergency surgery. A ruptured appendix, a woman who has been in labor for a long time too can get emergency surgery. Well, this still points at everything we've been saying. I feel the government they really need to step up, because so many things are going wrong from their end. I feel when they set the mark straight, all these things, all these small loopholes will not even be coming in place. Imagine that the government mandated the school, you must have functional electricity, even if there is no light. Your generator or your lister or whatever has to be functional. We won't have the case of writing works with torchlights. Imagine regarding the jam thing, you said it was a man-made problem. Train whoever is going to man on this particular system. Make sure this person is well trained. That's an instruction from the government to whoever body that is guarding that. All these things won't happen.
Not just making sure that they're trained. Make sure that if anybody have something to do with certain things, they answer to it. Because if you know that last year Mrs. So was sent to prison for 2.5 years for doing so things, you will be very careful when you are doing it. Simple. Right.
And they need to also still consider that these exams are like the next phase for the life of these students. So they should put in more effort to ensure that all this type of, because you can't tell me that those people that wrote exam with touchlight are going to pass anything.
Oh.
From the distraction of the people videoing outside to the fact that they cannot see a lot of things.
Even if they do pass, there is no God that will come and tell you that these people do not, because there's an opportunity for them to do malpractice. It's a simple thing. Yeah. It's easy. Whoever who doesn't take something, they call it umbo. Whoever doesn't carry
opportunity to bring it out,
will do it. So how do you?
And they will be crowding. They will be crowding.
Copy them. There won't be quality exam work. How do they call them?
Then again, I want to ask this as a question. Why do they need to put 2 subjects for 1 day? Why do we need to put two subjects for one day? Why not? Okay, if these people are doing what is it called? Doing 13 subjects, they should take it Monday one, Tuesday one, and that time should be 8 o'clock, or should I say 9 o'clock in the morning. So if worst come to worst, by 2 o'clock, they are done.
Whatever issue comes
but
up.
when you put your exam by 2 o'clock and you consider other factors, you'll be nearly 4 or 5 o'clock before the exam starts. We need to avoid some certain things.
And
So it also
help
to
the students too. You know that you're writing only one paper today, you can prepare
Very well.
for
I
that
remember when I
particular
was in a high institution, once we are done with this exam, we bring out this one and we'll be trying to cram it.
Yeah, that's
So that's not just 3 courses in a day. And it's tiresome.
Yeah, I think that's something else they will need to consider, look at. Because I don't see why you put maybe somebody is writing 2 different calculation courses. Imagine writing physics and chemistry at the same time. Do you understand? And the climate, this thing, the condition we find ourselves in this country, is not even conducive for you to think straight. Not to talk of read very well and prepare for 2 different papers. So these are
with the Gary you manage to drink with salt before coming to school because you don't have money.
I think it's so much.
But thank God we now have NEL Fund. We need to at least thank the president for that. NEL Fund, so far so good. Even if you don't have money for school, you don't need to start cracking your brain. Where do I get money for school? You just apply for NEL Fund. They will give you money for your school fees, give you money for your textbook. They will even give you pocket money. I think it's 20,000 naira per month. So I think so far so good. The president is doing perfectly well.
That's a good one. It's commendable, but let's not ignore the root things, like the basics. These are really the basics. That's a very good, wonderful one. Because people will not say, I did not go to school because I don't have money now. But the school you're going to, how well is it conducive for you? When you have to struggle, starting from writing your work with torchlights and then going to write jam and they will tell you to come and write it again. I mean, the Bible says if a sinner does 99 good and does 1 bad, it will scatter the whole thing. If they do 99 bad and do 1 good, you don't know where it's in the Bible?
No. Because one thing about Bible is that you can get a particular page you want and get what you want from it. Because I know there's also a page in the Bible that says it depends on the mercy of God.
Well, we need the mercy of the government because they were put there for more points. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Marianne, for your contribution. Thank you guys for joining. This is where we'll come to the end of this live stream. See you again next time for more trending topics.
Right.
Bye.
No movements.